Hello Flat Earthers, Flat Earth Hermit here. Today we're going to test your Flat Earth thinking skills. And the question is space water? Now, Crow 777 has suggested that space is water based on the refraction effects of what he calls the lunar wave. And the question is, can these refraction effects be explained in any more sensible way? Certainly if the space was water, it would fall down. So you'd have to explain, why doesn't it fall down? Why doesn't water fall down to the earth? Is there... If you say space is water, then that basically violates the flat earth density law. So can the lunar wave be explained in terms of the flat earth density law so that there's no conflict? So here we have, you might say, a side view of the flat earth plane. And here is Mount Meru, where you know it's cold, and then going around is the sun, making things warm, and as you go towards the south, things are going to get cold again. And this means that there's going to be different densities of atmosphere, given how this sun is moving around. And if you think it through, the sun is going to be going over the oceans, making humid air, and you might say it's heavy air, high pressure. And towards the Antarctic, it's going to get cold, the water vapor is going to condense, drop out, and then as you get quite far into Antarctica, it's going to be quite dry. And that's what supposedly we see, or what Admiral Byrd and those people saw, mountains that were snow, not snow covered. They were just basically very little moisture there, and that makes sense. So if you put on something like this red wave is sort of like just an indicator that there's different densities as you go from Mount Meru out and south. Now, could that explain a change in light and in a refraction? I think so. At least it does so in a way that makes sense. That there's different atmospheric densities which would alter slightly the light coming in. And Crow says that these lunar waves happen in May, I think. So this would be about the time when the sun is changing the densities of the air, and so probably the moon is affected by that. Now, I know a lot of people like their Bible, but I affirm the importance of keeping the flat earth separate from the Bible earth. And there are big perils of letting the Bible screw up flat earth theory, because a lot of people want their dome, and they want their Bible to be true, and they want their Jesus, and people are biased, and I call that the Bible bias. And you can, if you think about it, space being full of water simply should crash down to Earth. So you either take density seriously or not, you take the flat Earth seriously or not, and you try to explain things in terms of basic principles that make sense. And you have to understand the Bible is not proof. Proof is the real world, and even if you think this world is an illusion, it's still a real illusion, not a fake illusion. Now here's the only way the idea of space being water could be scaled down. I mean, here we have little bubbles, little Earths, you might say, but it's at a scale that where this can work. The air pressure is sufficient to sustain it's sufficient to buoy up the water, whereas on a flat Earth with thousands of miles up and 1,000 miles across, I mean, it should just break down. So use your flat Earth thinking skills if you can, and ask yourself, how much energy would it take to get the moon through that water? Just as much you have to ask the question, how much energy would it take to get that dome to spin? if these stars were stuck to the dome. It's just an enormous, crazy amount of energy needed. And you'd have to explain, why does the water not fall down? And basically, a dome of water has no explanation. So, hope this helps you.